education. So our mission statement is building careers through education. So we don't approach it like other universities. We don't present academic programs. We present practical programs that are really going to help you to improve your career prospects and develop the skills that you'll need. We're very, very strong at doing this. Now, we've talked about being number 1 for employability, and you'll notice it says number 7 on there. In the international space, it's number 7. If I just look at international students. In the UK, if I add those in, it's number 1. But I'm still really happy with that. I really like being above the University of Oxford. You know, that is incredible. So we're top 10, and we beat most of the prestigious universities in the UK for employability, because our students get jobs. And I think that's what it's all about. It's all about coming to the UK, studying something you're really interested in, but also getting that great career at the end of it. So for most of the programs that we're talking about in India, we're talking about the business school, and I've been running the business school since 2017, and we have 2 or 3 campuses already, and we've got a fantastic new campus coming in May, June this year. It's almost ready. I went to see it last week. It's right in the city area of London. It's got 51 classrooms, and this is for the business school. This is for our international students. So not only are you getting a great education at BPP, you're so important to us. You're getting a whole new building in the centre of London, and we can't wait to welcome you there, whatever you're going to be studying with us. And I think that we are pretty much the biggest business school in the UK. Many business schools have maybe 2,000 or 3,000 students. We've got over 7,000 students. And I think that's amazing, because even though we're big, we're also very, very friendly, and we know our students. We're always around. And this is a picture of me and my team. This was last week at graduation. I can't believe how small I am compared to the others, but there we are. And this is the team that leads the business school. And they've all worked with me for about 10, 12 years now. So we work really hard. And we've got lots of other team members as well to help people with their studies, because it's not just about what goes on in the classroom, it's about your whole experience. So it's about making sure that everything works for you, making sure that you know what you're doing. You can get all sorts of help if you need it. And these are some of the things that I think are really important and really good about our business school. Yeah, so we're very popular with India. We've got lots of expert faculty. I mentioned earlier on the stream, we have faculty who've lived and worked in India as well, so they understand sort of some of the culture and educational dynamics, and they really, really want to help people transition to UK education, which is obviously a highly valued prize for people to obtain. And the programs we develop are very modern. They are not boring, dull academic programs learning about theories that people wrote 30 years ago. They are about what's happening now in the world of business. And a little bit later, Vicky will be talking particularly about the MSC Management, which I think potentially people might be interested in. There's no other MSC Management program in the UK like ours, because ours is very different. And I had to put a lot of effort into convincing all of the academics in our community that we needed to do something very special, and we'll talk about that a little bit later on. So we think, and we know, that when you complete one of our programs, then generally you will be ready for work. So lots of stuff about the business school. Then there are some other programs in other schools. There's law and there's healthcare leadership, and they all fit in with the same approach that we have at BPP. But I think one of the things that I wanted to get you thinking about is not just about what course do I want to come and study at BPP, but what career am I thinking of going into? What kind of job would I like to do at the end of it? this is the first step of that career. So this isn't about, oh, I'm just going to go and do some studying and see what happens next. This is about saying, I think I'm interested in being a project manager. Perhaps I'd like to be a data analyst. Those of us who want to be accountants, we tend to know that. We tend to think that numbers are really exciting, because I'm a qualified accountant. Great skills. As Dean of the Business School, I have to do a very big budget. I have to manage costs. And even though I don't practice as an accountant anymore, those accountancy skills I learnt when I was studying and training are probably some of the most important skills that I ever got, because they help me to do my job now. So if there's accountants or people who like numbers in the room, definitely accounting could be great. And then, do you want to be a leader? Whether you want to be a strategic leader, maybe a team leader, maybe you want to manage your own business. Again, our programs really help you to think about the skills that you would need. So if you apply to BPP, one of the things that we ask you to tell us about, not only why do you want to come and study at BPP, but what are your career goals? What is it that you want to do? So that we can really make sure that we can help you with that. And that's really important, because we are always adding things to our programs, developing new ideas, and our faculty really want to know. So, do you want to stay in the UK? Do you want to go back to India? Do you maybe want to go somewhere else in the world and work? And all of these things we want to help you with as you develop and study with us at BPP. So what we've got here, and we had graduation, not 2 weeks ago. About 800 students graduated in London, and here are some. And here are some of the things that you can see, some of the reviews that our students write about us on Trustpilot. So very much they're telling us what they think. And I really like some of these. You know, one of our wonderful students saying the best 2 years of my life. I mean, that's really nice. And that was in lockdown as well. So, you know, that's quite amazing. We did really well during lockdown. We kept everything going. And I think our students are very grateful. This lady up here, that's a picture of Anna. Anna runs our student support services. And she is fantastic at making sure that her team really help you with everything outside of the classroom, whether it's accommodation or finance or just generally you need to know how to do something. Anna and her team are there, and we think that's really special because we put a lot of effort into this support, just like you get here when you do your application with our partners here in India. Yeah, and there's a few more as well. I really like this one. I mean, this was one of our graduates, and that was the photo that she sent us. You know, she got her ACCA balloons because she got her qualification. Yeah, and she told us best university for ACCA. I would agree with that. BPP has been training ACCA accountants for over 40 years. So if you want to get ACCA, I don't know why you would go anywhere else, because we know how to do it. And we have a fantastic team who are developing that program to make it as easy as possible, because it's actually really, really challenging. And I am going to say something about that a little bit later on. So we had a lot of fun at graduation with students getting their photos, getting their gowns, you know. And this comment here, tutors really care about you. So again, we're not a faceless, distant university or business school. We're very close to our students, and we want you to tell us if things are going wrong, because sometimes they do, and we'll be here to fix them. Yeah, and we're always very keen to do that as quickly as possible. So what we're here to present today, and you may already have been, you know, working with one of our consultants, there are sort of three areas that we're offering in BPP. Our MSC Management portfolio, which has got different pathways through it. So management, project management, data analytics, and the brand new one, which is digital marketing, very important for businesses today as they go more digital. 12 and 18 months, and we have placement opportunities that Vicky is going to talk about. Now, some of the things to think about with MSc Management, we're very, very flexible. So we've got lots of start dates, so you'll be able to come and study that whenever you want to. and it's got lots of digital skills throughout. So you've got a lot of choices. So when you're working with your consultant, have a think about how long do you want to study with us. You know, the 18-month program gives you a bit more time in the UK, a bit more time to get everything done, pass all of those assessments, and get some great development opportunities. So lots of different options in the MSc Management space, and that's our biggest and most popular program. Many, many students from all over the world, but particularly from India, come to study that one. Then we get into the accountancy portfolio. Can I just, has anybody put their hand up? Anybody interested in accountancy? Oh, I've got one hand. Well done. Well, hopefully you're going to get some very, very special support then. We've got a few different programs in our accountancy range, and they're all suitable for different types of accountants, depending on where you're starting, really. So my advice on this would really be to work with your consultant on the right program for you. So if people are coming out of high school, we'd recommend our bachelor's program. If people have already done a bachelor's program, maybe our advanced diploma might be better. But it's really important, if you want to be an accountant, to understand these exams are quite hard. There's a lot of work to do. We can help you to succeed, but you wouldn't be coming on that program and thinking, oh, it's going to be quite easy, I'll have a very relaxing time when I'm in London or Birmingham or Manchester. It's a lot of work to do. So we really want to make sure that you pick the right program. So the BSc has a bit more time. The advanced diploma is really suitable for people who perhaps know a bit about accountancy already. And then there is a small healthcare portfolio. We've got psychology and we've got healthcare leadership. Psychology is run from the business school, and we are starting to look at maybe introducing more business psychology in the future, but right now it's a traditional psychology program. And healthcare leadership is very much for anybody here who might be a healthcare professional, whether that's in, it could be from nursing, dentistry, any other form of healthcare, where you're thinking about a leadership role. And that one could be really exciting if you were thinking of coming to work in the UK on the graduate route, because we have a great skills shortage in some of these areas. So anybody who's got a healthcare qualification, coming and studying that leadership qualification as well would give you a great opportunity to get some fantastic work experience in the UK. So I think it's quite straightforward. Those of you who perhaps are interested in management, it's all about choosing which pathway or stream you're interested in, and that goes back to the point about what's the job that I want to do. For those small numbers, i.e. one, maybe one or two others who didn't put their hand up who want to be an accountant, as I said, the decision you have to think about quite carefully, which is the right program for you. So I'm not going to go through this slide in a lot of detail here, because I don't think there's that many. But when you talk to your consultant, have a look at all the different programs we've got and say, okay, which is the right one for me? Which is the one that I'm going to be most successful at? And actually, we've got a new bachelor's program, which is accounting with digital business. So again, for people who think, yeah, I might want to be an accountant, but I'm not going to commit to that straight away. What I'm actually going to do is study some accountancy and some business, get some broader skills, and then maybe I'll go on and do another qualification afterwards. And what's really good about our portfolio is that whatever you start with here, you can always go on and do another program with BPP. And we're seeing more and more students staying with us now to do a second program, which is obviously great for getting your qualifications if you need them. So really, I think accountancy is something that you need to spend a little bit of time working with your consultant and really working out which is the right program for you. And we're always very happy to help with those kind of queries. And if you're going to come to us and study at BPP, we kind of work out that there's a lot of steps to go through to get here. We know that, and it's always been quite challenging with visas and evidencing all sorts of things, getting your documents together, and that's been made very difficult due to the pandemic. However, we've got it organised in such a way that hopefully we can give you all the support you need so that you can get your application done with your consultants here in India. We can then help you with pre-arrival support, and we really want you to get online before you come. Yeah, get onto all of our systems, get your timetable, have a look at your study materials, have a look at practicing some English, as Vicky mentioned earlier, because you can get ahead with your studies before you come. And then when you arrive in campus, you can actually come and have some fun for a couple of weeks. You can come and do your induction, you can have a tour, you can come to some of the events, you can get some tech support, making sure you can access everything. So I have put a little note down there about laptops. We're quite digital now in BPP. Obviously, the whole world is after the pandemic. Even though all of your classes will be face-to-face in centre, all of your assessments and your materials are going to be online. So you need your own laptop. It needs to be a good specification so it can run the kind of software that you need so that you can do your exams really easily. Our students love this, the fact that now you don't have to come into a big exam hall and do exams. You can do them at home on your laptop. We've got a good piece of software that can make sure you're doing it properly, so we can't cheat and maybe look things up, but it is a lot less stressful than having to come to a big hall like this and sit for 3 hours and write, and we're really proud of that. But you know, to be able to access that kind of thing, you must have a laptop, and obviously we can help with, you know, advising what kind of one that you should get. And then we're pretty sure most people are interested in the graduate route. What we want to see is people coming in, getting through their program on time, exiting, and having the nice bit of time at the end to be able to apply for the visa to stay in the UK, which means you need to keep up with your studies. You need to keep going. You need to do everything on time so that you don't run out of time at the end. And we will make sure you don't. We've got a team of people who will chase you if you're not doing things, find out where you are if you're not in class. So it's really important that we set you off on the right track at the beginning. So that's a little bit about what you can expect by coming to BPP, and I'm now going to hand over to Vicky to talk a little bit more about the employability. Because as I said, it's not about what do I want to study at BPP, but what is the job that I want to get, and how is this going to help me?
Thank you, Sarah. Thank you very much. Okay, so you've heard we're the University of Professions, but what does that really mean? First of all, I have to work out. Okay, so we've mentioned the pandemic a couple of times as well today, but digital transformation has been going on before the pandemic hit us. So many of us were already looking at what the implications of that were for the future of work. And as Sarah has mentioned, you know, so much has gone into the design of our programs to make them future ready for you, so those digital skills are embedded. But everything is changing, and it's changing really fast. And that's causing an enormous disruption to the workforce. And that is the workforce that you are going to be entering when you complete your studies. And suddenly, we thought these things might be happening 10 years from now, but they're happening now. The future really is now. And it's impacting everything from the types of jobs you're going to have to the types of skills you are going to need. So some really interesting work from the World Economic Forum on what does that mean for future careers? What kind of jobs are you going to be looking for when you complete your studies? And you don't need to be able to read the detail here, but on the left-hand side, these are jobs that are going up in demand. On the right-hand side, jobs that are going down in demand. And we can see a few things in common with those increasing demand jobs. A lot of them are tech. You can see data specialists, for example, data analysts, digital transformation specialists. But there are also people like project managers. Now, project managers may appear in both lists, but to get a project management job in the future, you're going to have to understand the kinds of software, programs that today's project managers use. It's not just theory, it's how do I do this? And I think that's something that makes us quite special. So for you, as you think about your careers, we're seeing that careers are totally changing. People are changing their jobs more often. Average tenure, 4.5 years. We're seeing that decline all the time. People are moving around. The job for life, it doesn't exist anymore. And really importantly, especially as we're education experts, this idea of the half-life of a learned skill. That means that any new skill you acquire will be out of date completely in 10 years. Its half-life is 5 years. So we are moving into an age of constant learning. No longer just you do your education, you sit back and enjoy your career. And I'll come back to why that's so important to the way we do things. So, this great acceleration, this rapid pace of change, it's driving demand for these new types of skills. The kinds of skills that I was taught at university, that's not what counts anymore. Everything I did at university is ancient history, essentially. All those tech skills, technology and digital skills, really high demand. So obviously there are a lot of roles there for specialists. People, for example, who want to choose our data analytics pathway, absolutely. But interestingly, I would suggest to you, it's not just to become a specialist. Every job is going to need to have a certain understanding of how to use data, not just data specialists. And those technology skills are only one part of the equation. People skills, those things robots can't do, are increasingly important too. And here on the right-hand side, again from the World Economic Forum, those trending top 10 skills for 2025. I mean, that's only 3 years away now. You will definitely need to tick these off as you go forward in your education and move into your career. So, what does that look like in India? Well, quite interesting here, that chart on the top left there. There's a real recognition. Young people here understand that skills are changing rapidly. You see it around you. So actually, you're right out in front in Asia Pacific in recognizing that. You also recognize in India that that's quite scary. You know, change is not always super comfortable. You have to be ready to embrace it. So yeah, you're a little bit daunted. Not as daunted as people in Singapore, you'll be interested to hear. But yeah, you're thinking about it. So there is change. It's a little bit scary. However, one of the most important things for you to recognize is we are moving into a world where employers are interested in your skills as much as they are interested in your, education, or where did you go, what grade did you get, or where have you worked. That's all fine, looks lovely on a CV, I'm not against it. But you need to be able to demonstrate your skills to an employer for them to hire you. They want to know you can do things, right? 79% of organizations in Asia Pacific are looking at your skills. Not only when you're recruited is it important, but also for your career progression. These are HR leaders down here. 61% of them say your skills are what's going to make a difference for your career progression. So I think you're getting the message. Skills are important, right? And here also on the right hand, this is from LinkedIn Learning. These are some of those skills that you need. And I was really interested when I saw this list because, this speaks so much to us, Sarah, doesn't it? Especially, with our MSC Management, for example, but in all of our programs. And again, I'll show you why in a minute. Critical thinking and problem solving. We'll be asking you to do that every day. Communication. You'll be expected not only to write coursework, which of course you will, but also to give presentations, write communications that you might use, for example, in a business context. So we are focused on these all the time. And of course, innovation and creativity. Businesses need that. It's one of those World Economic Forum top trending skills, innovation. Again, can't be done by a robot. Still needs human beings, so there's still jobs for us. Okay, so there's a massive transformation going on in your country. I think we saw that with that recognition in here that things are changing really fast. And it's resulting in new jobs, different types of jobs, new skills. And it's an explosive growth that needs to be fulfilled by graduates and the brightest and the best, just like yourselves, going forward. And those are areas like business development, data management, management and people skills, and those digital marketing and customer intelligence skills. So you see, even in marketing, there's that need to be able to look at data. So how do we address this need? Well, we have what we call our career-ready strategy, and it means that everything we do is focused on thinking about those skills, and these are the ones that we make sure are embedded in everything we do. Our 10 career-ready skills based on the research, the work we do with businesses, so we understand what they are. And I think, this fantastic quote here in the middle, knowledge is not where it's at anymore. You can Google it. It's not important for you to be able to remember information. It's important for you to demonstrate your skills, and that's what we're about. So what does that look like in practice? Well, it starts, as Sarah's already mentioned, before you even reach us. Get connected. Right there, you're demonstrating a digital skill, okay? And engage with the pre-arrival support, demonstrating another skill of being able to manage yourself. Join our virtual campus and get your IT set up, more tech skills. Get ahead with our professional and academic skills so that you're prepared. Again, you would expect that of a professional, that they're prepared. And take advantage of ongoing learning, perhaps outside your course, whether that's some extra English, some academic skills workshops, or even things like taking your Microsoft qualification in Excel, for example. It's available there for you, because we're looking for you to cultivate that digital mindset, to develop your career management skills, because your career is your responsibility. We want you to learn how to learn so that you can embrace lifelong learning and be ready for a future in which the half-life of skills is only 5 years. And to develop skills, not just knowledge. So how do we do it? Well, in a whole load of different ways, from careers fairs to virtual internships, from graduates' first aptitude practice tests, masterclasses, employers coming in to speak about their businesses and what's going on, those external speakers. And each of those things enables you to evidence your abilities and your skills. You just have to grasp the opportunity, because it's all there for you. So, looking at our MSc Management, we've spoken already about how they were designed with the future in mind from the very beginning. The modules are designed for you to be ready to go into a leadership role. Even if that's starting as a team leader, you still need some of those digital skills, those leadership skills. And those streams focused on futures careers, whether you're choosing project management, digital marketing, data analytics, or the pure MSc Management. Again, there's a focus on your personal effectiveness skills, and also how you need to use data for decision making, as well as how you can manage in an age of digital disruption. And if we remember those increasing demand jobs from the World Economic Forum on one of those early slides, circled here are data analytics, project management, strategic business, organizational development. All of the things are wrapped in our MSc Management. And not to forget accountancy. All our programs align to ACCA. That is the biggest global qualification in accountancy. And we know that that is a passport to a global career in accountancy if you have ACCA. We include digital and data in our programs. And we also talk about how to develop technical accountancy skills. BPP does an amazing project called the Digital Accountant, which Sarah was very involved in conceptualizing, which actually is for our corporate clients, but we understand the future of accountancy like no other organization. And again, those employability skills, from the beginning to end, so that you build your foundational technical skills, you build your business skills, and you build those personal effectiveness skills. And you've already seen lots of quotes from students themselves, but here's another one. For accountancy and finance, BPP is the best place. So our MSc Management does have this additional 6-month component, which is absolutely another opportunity. Focus on you, your career growth, and it's about taking control of your career and being ready to go as soon as you're done. So for some of you, this might be a fantastic option if you want that work experience, if you're aiming really high and you want to know that your CV and all of the demonstration of the skills is really there. This is definitely it. It's also a place to go if you want to focus on that graduate route, because it really helps you be ready to grab those work opportunities in the UK. So Sarah very modestly said that we're number 7th in her statistic at the beginning. Well, we are, but we're also number 1. There's a different way of phrasing that data. We took a look at that data very hard from HESA, our data analytics teams, and against the Russell Group, that's all those big names. That's Oxford, Cambridge, that's the LSE, that's all of them. Against the Russell Group of 24 leading universities. For our UK postgrads who went into employment and are in highly skilled occupations, BPP actually ranked number 1. Pretty impressive. Sarah, back to you for a moment. Sorry, it's a bit smart.
Great, thank you, Vicky. So thank you, everybody, for your patience. That is a whistle-stop tour of BPP, and I hope it does stimulate more questions, because the more questions you have, the better informed you're going to be when you make the right choice for you. So I just want to finish off very quickly with just some very practical advice, some questions that we tend to see coming from particularly in India. Do I need an IELTS certificate? We have very specific arrangements for assessing English. We have to assess English as part of the regulations, but we have special arrangements in India, and I just really want to recognise Taranjeet for all the work that he does with our compliance teams to make this work, because it's not easy. It's a lot of work, but we want you to succeed and we want to make it easy for you. Can I start the course online and come to the UK later? That's what we've been doing during the pandemic, but in the UK we're back to normal now, so we're not really offering online anymore. We've got lots of flexible starts, because obviously we know there are still some timing issues with visas and application processing, but COVID restrictions have been lifted in the UK, it's very safe, and we're back face-to-face in the classroom, and hopefully when you guys come, we'll be in that lovely new building that we showed at the beginning. We will help you to get part-time work. Remember, you can work 20 hours a week when you're studying. We have lots of job boards and companies that come looking. And actually, it's quite a good time, as I mentioned earlier, because European students can't actually, or people can't stay in the UK at the moment because of Brexit, which means that there are lots of part-time jobs available. A very odd question that I often get at the start of a course, I'm always quite interested. We see students who go through a really long process to come to BPP, and then when you arrive you say, do I have to come to all of my classes? How many hours do I have to come? And I know that's because there's loads of other exciting things to do. But yes, you do have to come to all your classes, and probably about 12 hours a week, maybe a little bit more for some of the programs, like some of the accountancy programs. But you do need to commit to attending everything and keeping up with your studies. It isn't just about attending classes, it's also about doing all of the work that we give you before and after. So it's a full-time commitment. You have got time to do part-time work, but again, that is going to test some of your personal organisational skills and your resilience as well to be able to do this. Do I need to live near the campus? BPP doesn't have accommodation, but we know where students live. We can help and advise on that. Most students live within an hour of our campus, so do have a look at where you want to live and how you're going to get into the campus, because it is a commitment that you're making, and we do need to see you there. And then we've mentioned the graduate route. It is available. All of our students are very keen on it, and what we're saying is commit to your course, get everything done on time, and then that application is really, really easy. And we really hope that many of you succeed and stay in the UK to work and add to your experience. I think we've talked a lot about that, so I'll just end there by saying thank you so much for committing this evening and for listening. We're very happy to talk about course options and answer any questions. Please make sure that you've got all the information that you need before you leave so that you can go away and have a really good think about what your next step is. And I do hope that that is with BPP. So thank you very much.